Welcome. I'm Carly Swenson. I'm the communication strategist for Wisdom Ways. Liba Herman brings genuine heart, passion, and individuality to her connection with people and creativity. With a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Minnesota in Experiential Education, highlighting therapeutic uses of the wilderness, and an art education degree from St. Catherine's University, Liba has long been drawn to the power of creative exploration. She discovered soul painting or process art making almost 20 years ago while living in Oregon, and she was captivated by its dynamic and restorative qualities. She has facilitated intuitive painting and other programs centered around creative exploration for the last 15 years. These experiences led to her opening, led to her opening Inside Out Center for Creating and Connecting this past May on Minnetonka Boulevard in St. Louis Park, supporting people of all ages and backgrounds to reimagine their connection to creative expression is an honor. Thanks.
I got him. I'm letting him in.
No, it's great. Thank you. She has worked locally with Courageous Hearts, Free Arts Minnesota, Old Arizona Youth Programs, Minnetonka Center for the Arts, St. Louis Park Friends of the Arts, and St. Louis Park Community Education. She has also, facilitated programs for Mussar, which is Adult Jewish Learning and Contemplative Practices at Bethel Synagogue, Torah Academy, Ramon, and Minnesota Jewish Arts Council, and the Minnesota JCC. So, yay, there we go. So I can take over letting in our friends as they come to join us, and I will pass it along to you.
Great. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's so nice to be here. I really want to thank Carly and Danielle. I don't know if Danielle is on the call. Is Danielle here? I don't see Danielle.
No, she had another thing that she had to go to
Well,
tonight.
I still want to thank Danielle and just the rest of the Wisdom Ways community for giving me this opportunity to share what we are building at Studio Inside Out as part of this Exploring Advocacy series. I'm just really grateful. So I want to start off on that note with honoring the vision of Wisdom Ways. The vision, I don't know if any of you have done a lot of programming with Wisdom Ways. I make the assumption that you have. This is a Wisdom Ways event. But I want to just read aloud the vision. As I will share the vision of Studio Inside Out, I want to really honor Wisdom Ways, which is moving people from deep inner listening into courageous action to co-create a better world. So like as I said, in a moment, I'm going to share the core values of the studio, and that will be part of sort of a PowerPoint presentation. We'll kind of go through the core values of what the studio is working to embody. But first, I want us to all take a moment in Wisdom Ways fashion to just arrive here together and to find a breath. We're all in different places. I see even cars going by, and I see faux backgrounds and all of this. So we don't really know where we really are. But I want us to take a moment to come together at the end of this day at 6 o'clock on a Wednesday. And I encourage you to find your breath. And the breath that I mean is not the 20,000 inhales and exhales breath that we take all day, oftentimes without notice, but the life-giving, full awareness breath. Arriving here together, I'm going to do the same, closing my eyes. At any pace that you wish, shedding anything that needs to be shed right now, pausing whatever needs to be paused, scanning your body to see what needs to be let go of so we can arrive here together fully for the next hour I'm offering gratitude that you're here tonight, that we all arrived together. Several folks might come in as we continue to talk. But let go of any tension that you have in your body. Just notice any sensations that need to be addressed, that you're holding. And I really would like to recognize that even though we are on Zoom, each and every one of these little squares is a holy soul, a creative being, a creative being. Let's see how this goes.
Yes.
Oh, there.
There we go. We're there.
Okay. So adjust your view of your windows of us, of Zoom, adjust it accordingly wherever you want to place all of us so that you can see. And we're just going to go through a little bit here. This is an image that you can decide whether or not a child did it or as an adult did it. You'd be very surprised if I had slides of adult or child, and you'd be surprised. So I'm not going to put who did it, but this is what the person said when they were done. I asked them, what did it feel like tonight to paint? And they said to me, when I paint, I feel alive. I feel free. So here we are at the Exploring Advocacy series. And I wanted to just, share, as I did with the Wisdom Ways values, that this is Studio Inside Out that is only a year born, not even. May 1st will be a year born. I'm over in St. Louis Park off Minnetonka Boulevard. It's a tiny little space. But I wanted to read what I envisioned when I began this space as we shared the Wisdom Ways values. And that is that Studio Inside Out believes that creativity is inherent in all people, that art is a powerful tool for personal growth, values process over the end result, creativity is an essential part of community, collaboration and inclusivity, affordability and accessibility, and seeks to impact across differences in culture and life experience, offering a nurturing and exploratory environment. So I'm going to actually ask each of you, there's not that many of us, but I want to ask you to put in the chat, what drew you to this event tonight? What was it? Actually, there's only a few of us. Let's just share out loud. If it was 30 people, that'd be different. But if you're comfortable sharing, what was it about the bio, about this event? Maybe you signed up for the whole series of the 4, maybe just this one. But if you're willing to share, and if you're more comfortable doing it in the chat, that's okay too. But please share, if you would, what drew you to this topic?
I can start. This is Virginia.
Yeah.
I think I resonated or was drawn to this subject in my own art practice, but also in my job, which is as a program director in a creative program. And so I'm just very interested to learn about what you're doing and to also see how it stacks up with, how can I do this better or more in my community?
Great. Thank you, Virginia. So on that note of creativity without talent and the intersection between spirituality and creativity, I'm going to ask everybody to think for a moment. You don't have to rest your eyes right now or anything, but I would like you to think about I'm going to say a couple words. I'm going to say one word right now, and I'm going to ask you, it sounds like I have some folks on the call right now who have some experience with creating on a regular basis, but what is the first feeling or thing that comes to mind when I say the word art? You can put it in the chat. But not just what comes to your mind intellectually. What happens to your body? Are there any ideas or feelings, sensations in your body when I say the word art? Notice. Notice what comes up for you when I say the word art or art making. Energy, nourishment, expression of the story within. All right. Stepping out of the ordinary. All right. Please put in there, how does it make your body feel when you hear the word? If I were to say right now, everybody, stop what you're doing, I would say, Marty, stop what you're doing. We're going to do art right now. Or anyone, Marilyn, we're going to make art right now. What is it? What happens in your body? What do you feel? And be honest, truth.
Panic.
Panic. Put that in the chat. Would you? Well, you don't have to. Yay, playful, joy, panic. Right. All right. So eagerness. Great. Well, I have many conversations in each day where I tell people what I do. If you all remember David Letterman, he had his top 10, all right? Top 10 responses from people when I say what I do and what I offer and what I invite people to do, top 10. I don't do that. Art's not for me. I have a creative uncle. My aunt does that. Oh, my mom was an artist. Oh, I don't have a creative bone in my body, right? The list goes on and on and on, right? And that just fuels me. I'm like, oh, really? Come over here, let's talk. Right. So if I were to say the word to you, creativity, does that change the sensation between art and creativity? And I'm not sure if people know, but I just learned this the other day from one of my other teachers, that as far as language across time, that English is one of the only languages that has a direct translation of the word art. That many languages, most languages, the word is not art, it's creativity or creative life force that runs through us. So as I was looking at decorating my studio, I was going to be putting different languages on the front in decals of different languages, inviting cross-cultural invitation to come to the space. And it was very difficult to find the language because most languages, even Spanish and Farsi, all these different languages, it actually comes down to creative life force, right? So art making, creative life force, do very different things. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to go like, oh, can I move over? Move. There we go. So I just want to touch upon my first piece of the visions and beliefs of the space, that creativity is inherent in all people. So here's an image of one of the students I have at my space, two of them. The woman to the left is 96 years old, and she came to my space with a family session, interage, so intergenerational play. When we say creativity is inherent in all people, not only are we thinking about accessibility and inclusivity, which we'll talk about later, but the idea that we switch societal norms around who creative making is for, who art making is for, those with skill, those with talent, right? That's what we do. So at a very young age, like this boy in the image, right? So we had 3 generations in that room, 4 generations in that room. We had great grandmother, kids, we had many children in that room. I could show you a larger picture later. But this woman had not painted in 90 years. Betty, I said, when's the last time you painted? Boy, did she give me a look. She gave me a look. She said to me, you know when it's been 90 years. I didn't have to tell her what to do. I didn't tell her where to access from. She was accessing from the same place as her great-grandchild next to her, who got to witness her creating, not watching on their cell phone. They were together. And her adult child and her adult grandchildren were there as well. So this idea that we don't need to be focused only on skill-based education, there are places for it. There are people who find tremendous joy in the precision of the elements and principles of design, and there is nothing that I believe in that negates that. But it's the space in between of what happens when we're a child, when we're 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, where we can come at curiosity with wonder and creativity with wonder. And it doesn't have to be with art materials. It starts on a window in winter when you take your finger on the frost. Or places, developing countries, you see kids drawing in the sand. Creativity is a life force that runs through all of us. So where does that go awry, right? When kids begin going to school and innocently their amazing art teacher, right, who went to college, which I did, and I learned the elements and principles of design K through 12. Oh, Timmy, what a beautiful son you've made, right? All right, well, Andrea next to her, or Makisha next to her, is going to wonder, well, subconsciously, why I did not get that same compliment or that same praise. It may not be overt, but there we are, slowly beginning to chip away at the comfort and the bravery that comes from creating from a place of true freedom. And then the next day, Timmy will wonder, well, why didn't I get that compliment like I did yesterday? It begins to unfold. I see the nodding. I see the nodding. Maybe you were one of those Timmys, right?